Hey guys, what's up? It's Otis with Max Wax Packs, and a couple days ago we did the Card Dealer Pro versus Kronozio, the second comparison, and the KronoCard software was phenomenal. I was definitely pleased with it. The updating time to get the AI recognition and get it back to me was almost tied with Card Dealer Pro by the time we got to our finished screens. There were some instances where it was maybe a couple minutes slower, but that is nothing. A couple minutes slower is absolutely nothing in terms of how it did. And then we saw the recognition. We did the 2002 Topps Chrome Formula 1, and KronoCard had a 99% accuracy. And in that particular set of cards, Card Dealer Pro was, I think, 57% accurate, I believe. So anyways, so now what we're going to do is we're going to touch up on the scanning feature, because the last time I did this, we imported the cards. Now we're going to actually use our 8170, which you can see on the screen. I've got a little camera facing that because you're going to watch the scanning happen, and then you can see the screen as well and see what goes on. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over some of the things that I learned from using KronoCard and some of the help that I got from Mr. Bernier over at Kronozio. So here we go. First thing is I've started the program right here. And I have done scans today. I have not uploaded them yet for AI recognition, but we are just going to jump into doing a scans with you guys. And in that case, I have a small selection of 2018 Panini Prism basketball cards here, okay? So let me go ahead and get some of these lined up. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click our little camera button here. And you can see this is what I scanned earlier today, 1,752 cards. This is my 2019 Mosaic, I believe. All right, so from here, once this opens up, I'm going to go ahead and click my camera at the top, and we're going to get our screen, which I'll drag over here. Here it is, and we're going to look here, okay? We're going to make sure we select the right. Sorry, my contact's on, so I have to make sure. Now, this is the coolest thing. This is why I want to do this. I want you guys, and some of you may know this already. I didn't know this, and this is super cool. So I have about 500,000 cards scanned already, and I did them by scanning. I put them all in order, right? That's what I do. It's like my meditation. So I get 10,000 cards, and I go in order numerical. It takes forever, like days, but yeah, it gives me time to do whatever. And that's how I know where my cards are. So then I put that into a box, and the box is labeled whatever. And I know that if I want card 1, it's going to be at the beginning of the box. And if and it tells me where I need to go for the other boxes. This is so much cooler, because with this, I don't have to put them in order. I can just scan the cards. It's going to sort them and put them in order. So here's the thing. The first thing that you want to make sure of is this. You want to make sure you select your category, which you can see right here is basketball, because that's what we're going to be scanning. My quality grade is A. I open these cards, so I know these cards are brand new. And I'm not worried about more details right now. There's nothing to really mess with it there. And so the next thing I'm going to do, because I'm using AI. So if you're going to use AI, then you don't need to fill out any of this year or anything else. It's going to figure that out on its own. Here's the cool part. So we touched on this a little bit before, but this is really where I want to stress. So KronoCard has already the categories built in. So for example, basketball is BK, baseball is BL, and so on. So as you drop this menu down, you'll see basketball is that, and if I go to baseball, it goes to BL. Here's the cool part. It remembers where you left off. So it assumes you're going to begin at that ending spot. So for example, I scanned my 2019 Mosaics earlier, which you saw, and that took me to a third box, first row, okay? And I'm at section C. Now, this is where I got confused, and this is where Jonathan Bernier explained to me. That max cards right there, this right here, is how many cards you're going to put between each divider, okay? So I thought it was how many cards could fit in the row, and it's not. It's how many cards before it tells you to put a divider, and here's why. It's very smart. Because when it comes time to sell the card, right? Let's say you use Kronozio to list on eBay, which we're going to get on a whole nother video for that one. When that card sells, KronoCard is going to automatically have the invoice ready for you so that you can ship. It integrates with eBay. You don't have to download it. It's automatically integrated with eBay. And it's going to tell you where that card is located. So instead of having to search all over, it's going to say, okay, look, let's say, for example, I'm looking for this Marcus Smart green prism, right, which I'm going to scan. Okay, it's going to be, let's just say I scan it into section C. It's going to say, okay, box 3, label BK for basketball for the box number 3, in row 1, section C, you will find that card if I scan it in those first 50 cards there. So this is now amazing, because not only does it do that and tell you where to go, Jonathan was explaining to me, it looks through all the invoices that came in, and it tells you where to go to pull all the cards at that moment. So for example, if customer 1 orders this card and then customer 3 orders a card in the same box, it will tell you, so you're not running back to the same box twice. It'll say, okay, from this box, go pull cards for these 2 orders. So you go to one box and you can fulfill everything. That is huge, right? In terms of if you're listing thousands of cards, even if you're listing hundreds of cards. So this is really important here. And so all of a sudden I realized I do like to maximize it at 50 cards. 100's a little too much, especially if there's an error in the scan. So 50 cards for me is perfect. And here's what it'll look like. I'm going to take this camera. I'm going to show you real quickly. I'm going to lift it up. This is what it looks like. Okay, here's my box. This, I haven't written the label on here, but this will say BK 0003. Okay, and then there's my A and my B, and then now I put my label starting at this is my label A here, or my divider A and B. You could put it in the front depending on how you want to do it, but I'll know that when I put C, everything before C is in the C bracket, right? So this is really cool. Let me put this back here. And so what's going to happen now is I'm going to tell it, okay, get ready to scan, all right? I'm going to try to put this so I can still reach in for the cards. So it's going to automatically stop in 50 scan increments, all right? And in that time, when it stops at 50 scans, it's going to say, we detected an error on a card. If there's an error, you can fix it. We're going to go through that in just a little bit. But this is important right here. So it's automatically remembering where I left off. So I don't have to do that. What I do have to do, and what the system doesn't do, is it does not know when you've moved to a new row, right? Because it has no idea, and Jonathan made this clear. If you're running memorabilia cards, patch cards, those are thicker. So it doesn't know how many cards it takes to fill up the row, right? Depending on what you're running. So that's up to you, but it's very easy to remember this because when you go to scan, it gives you the option to change it right then, and that's what you'll do. So watch what I'm gonna do. We're gonna start with this, and I've got a batch of prisms right here that we're gonna be scanning. And I'm just going to start putting them in the scanner. We will see errors, or most likely see them because these have been sitting out a day or two. So sometimes the cards get sticky. So you'll see that and the system will catch it. Ready? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at all this. We're going to select our scanner right here because we're using the 8170, Fujitsu 8170. Just leave everything else like it is. All right. And we're going to go down here. This looks perfect because I'm not messing with it. And we're going to click OK. Now it's going to automatically open the scanning interface, which I'll bring over here. Whoops. Here you go. There it is, okay? Now, as you can see, it's waiting. I have to press this button to start scanning, but let's look here. So we have our information on the cards. We have the box it's going to, and if you wanted to change it, you would click this and you could edit it right here, but we're not going to. Now we're going to click the scan. So let me load up the scanner real quick, and you're going to see me being able to do this. All right, here it goes. All right, there we go. And I've got my next batch ready to go, and I'm going to keep putting them in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Start. Did I click it? Here we go. Here goes. Okay, now you can see right here that we have, it stopped at 50 scans, and look right here. You see where it says 3 possible errors, 50 cards scanned, okay? Now I can click this to continue, but you see how this is red right here? There's a check mark right up on this right corner, and if I click that, it's gonna show me the cards with errors. And sure enough, now some of these are getting scanned closely, and I've got to work on that. These lines are from me, from my scanner. There's a couple little issues, but they're not consistent on all of them. But it's a matter of cleaning, and I did just clean it, so I'm not sure if this is coming through. I have to check the back lens, so I'm going to check that in just a minute. But look at the error here. So this is going to be because the front of the card's cut off. I'll deal with it. I'm not worried about that right now. This is, again, the same thing. It's like it got just to the edge. And you can realign, which we'll get into redefining the corners. But here's what I want to show you. You see this right here? This is when it pulled 2 cards across. Now check out how cool this is. It's telling me right now, right, that card number 48 pulled, there's an error. It doesn't tell me what the error is, but you can see in the picture it pulled double. Now, it also said card number 6, you can see it's been cut off. Okay, so I'm going to pull, and it's real easy to count. You basically just do it here. I'll do it on this camera right here. Okay, so you can see, and you know what, let me, I didn't even think about the fact that, let me turn this off real quickly just so you can see the, okay, you could see here on the back where you could see the 2 cards, right? Now on the front you could see it if you look at this side, right? But you can also see it if you click the back. Now that phone, that video is covering it, but I'm gonna put that back for now. So here's where we go, look, 1, I'm gonna turn these upside down so I keep it 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm screwing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have just done this. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we are going to look for, where is my card? Oh, I have done messed this up, so let me start over. Ready? It's going to be the 8th card. It says it's the 6th card, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I move them. So there it is right there. This is the one that was scanned short, okay, for whatever reason. So I'm going to pull this out, okay? So I'm going to pull the card and put it out, and I'm going to go up here and put a check in this box right here and tell it to remove the card. Okay, now watch what will happen. I'll do them all, right? So then we're going to go to card number 12, 9, 10, 11, and keep in mind that I've ruined these, the order. So there's this one right here. This is another one that's scanned short, so I'm going to pull that out, and I'll put a check box there, okay? And then we have to go to card 48, which is going to be all the way at the end because we know we did 50 cards. So let me just do this. Not screw up the order completely here. All right, so we're going to go to the end, right? And we're going to look right here, and we're going to find our card. Let me see, who am I looking for? Let me click on it real quick. Marshawn Brooks. Okay, so we're going to go to where Marshawn Brooks would be. I think it might be over here. I think I separated it already. Let me see. There's Marshawn Brooks right there. Okay, so Marshawn Brooks, and if you click on the back, you'll see the next player was Deion Waters, which is the next card. So I'm going to pull both of those out, okay, and put those on the table as well. All right. We've got all the cards back together now, okay? So these cards were good and got scanned fine. I'm going to put those in my divider, and now watch what happens. Now here's the cards I pulled out. These are the 4 cards I pulled out, which I'll put back in the scanner in another batch in just a little bit. But when I tell it to remove, when I put this check mark here for these 4 cards that I've removed, now, it doesn't recognize that there's a second card here, by the way, okay? It only recognizes 1 card. But either way, I'm going to tell it to, right here on the minus. Once I've checked them, I'm going to click this minus right here in the top. And it's going to tell me you want to remove these 3. I'm going to click OK. Now, watch what happens. It automatically gives me 3 new cards to replace, so my count remains where it needs to be, okay? So I put those in there. And since there were no more errors, you could see on the screen here, it looks good. So now I click the check mark and it says, do you want to place these in row C? And I say yes. All right. And then I come over here, and I'll move the camera so you can see. I come over here and I take my divider and I put it right there. So now we're done. Now we're on to the next set of cards. So I'm going to run another one for you real quickly. All right. We've already got some still loaded in the scanner. All right. So I'm just going to load a few more. And I'll tell you, if you want to try to not get them to stick sometimes, you just to me, I'll kind of wave them around like this a little bit, if you can see that, right? And I'll blow on them just to separate them a little bit if you have to, but it's really not that big of a deal usually. And now I'm going to tell it to go ahead and start again. So here goes the next batch, right? Okay, that's the next 50 that's done, and let's see if we have any errors. It says we have 5 possible errors, okay? Now, I'll be honest with you, I feel like most of these errors are card sleeve related. I have seen a huge difference depending on what sleeves I use, but let's go and look, okay? So if we click here, the best way to check to see if you have a double card error is to click on the first card and the last card. I don't see an error here, so that one's fine. First card and the last card. And I can see as long as the names match, I know there's no card in the middle. Sometimes they line up so perfectly. Okay, here's a double card. So this is going to be card number 10, right? So I'm just going to go as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Card number, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so there's our double card right here, right? And so I'm going to pull both of these out, all right? I'm looking up and then down and all over the place. All right, so that's one that I'm taking out. I'm going to leave this one just fine, and I'm going to leave this one. These 2 are just fine as well, and that's it. So really, I'm only going to put a check mark here, okay? And I'm going to tell, okay, I'm pulling, is that the right one? Hold on, let me make sure, yeah. Okay, I'm pulling it out. So this is what I'm going to tell I'm taking out. So I'm going to hit the minus there, click OK. It's going to spit out a brand new card for me. Okay, perfect. right? And I'll put that card at the bottom. And it will still say, if you look, it's still going to say you have 4 possible errors because I left some of those cards there because I didn't see an error. I didn't have an error problem. So it says 4 possible errors. I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to click the check mark. Do I want to look at them? No, I've already seen them. And I'm going to click yes, put them in the next slot. Now, I'm going to stop here real quickly, only because I need to wipe that line down real quick. I'm not really sure why, but I have an alcohol swab here. So bear with me 1 second. Let me find where I put the alcohol swab. Here it is. I'm going to wipe that down again because something is interfering, and I don't want my cards to keep getting a bunch of lines in them. So let me just wipe this again. Back of the cards are doing just fine. It's the front that's the problem. So let's do that, and let me take a where's my cloth here? Let me take this cloth and wipe that down. Okay, let's close it back up. All right, let's run another scan. All right, so we did our next 50. So now we're going to do another 50. All right, now I'm going to I'll go through this, and then I need to put my divider in because those 50 are good. So let me put my divider in. All right, and let me get my cards ready. Here we go. And we're going to do another one. So let me click this right here, and it's going to start. I just saw a double card go through, so I know I'm going to have an error no matter what. And again, this is on the BCW card sleeves. I don't see this error as much, but I ran out of those until yesterday, so I already sleeved all these prior to getting the sleeves in that I wanted. So, anyways, let's look and see what we got. Let's look and see our errors real quick. All right, so I'm going to click this check mark. And it says I have 2 errors, and as you can see right here, we have a double card on card number 12. So let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there it is. There's our 2 right there. So we're going to pull both of these ones out. Okay, and then it says I have another error, which is going to be a close cut card here. I'm not really going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to leave that in there, and I'm going to tell it I'm removing 1, which is this one right here. Okay, and I'm going to hit the minus sign, and it's going to spit me out another card. There we go. There's our other card right there. We're going to put that in, put our divider in, and we're going to come back over here. We're going to click that we are good. We do not want to see a bad one again. We already know what they look like, and we've accepted it. Click no, and then click yes, it's going to section E. Now, we're still on row 1. All right, we're in section E, and I still have a couple cards left here that belong in that particular series, okay? Because after these cards, I'm going to I separate mine. I go to the prisms, and I go to the different variations of cards, right? So these are just basically the base right now. So what I can do here is I can tell it to either finish these 2 cards off, because you know it stops at 50, but if you look right down here, if you only had a few left and you want to just finish it, you could just click finish the feeder, and it would put the rest of the cards in there and add those to the count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tell it to finish. Actually, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because we got a lot to scan here. So here goes the next batch of cards, right? I'm just going to start now with this. Let me do these here. I do my prisms, so I'm just going to scan these ones actually, and there's a couple, actually there's another one in here. All right, so let me do this real quickly. All right, now, I do want to tell it to go back and finish, so we had A, B, C, D, E. I don't want these to go into F. I want them to continue with E, so I'm going to click this and edit it. I want to go back to, I want to go back to E, okay? And I want to just add to E, okay? So I'm going to click OK. And you can see where the letter is E now, and I'm just going to tell it to finish these. All right, so let's do. I'm gonna probably put in. I don't think I have to change the number, but just in case, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's gonna be 7 cards that I'm putting in there because none of these are prisms. Okay, so let me just put the number as 57, and then we're gonna click OK. And now I'm just gonna tell it to finish scanning Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it did those last 7 for me. Those are going to go into E as well. Okay, so I'm going to put them in E. And you see how there's no errors? So now all I have to do is just click this, and it says you want to put them in, and I click yes. Okay, now I'm going to close this real quick to make sure that I've got all my scans, that all the other ones went into E as well. So today's Wednesday, okay, and I want to go to my box here, and I'm going to go down to basketball, and I'm going to go down to box 3, row 1, and there's E. Okay, now you can see all the cards plus the last ones that I scanned. So it'll just append to it, okay? That's all I wanted to check. Let's go back to our scanning now because now we're going to scan the prisms, okay? So I'm going to click the same camera again, and you're going to see when it starts up, it's going to begin. If it's basketball, we're beginning at F, which is exactly where we left off. Now I'm going to go back to doing 50 cards only, okay? Everything else stays the same. We're going to the scanner, and we're in box 3. We're doing section F, which is correct, and we're going to click OK. Now we're going to do our prisms and all of our prism-related cards. So here goes. Let me just try to loosen them up a little bit so they don't lock up here. There we go. Okay. Here it goes. I'm going to drop those in. All right. Let's see what happens. So we're going to click the camera, and we're going to let it run. There was a double. Okay, so how many cards did we run? I don't think that was 50, was it? No, I'm still short. I didn't put enough in there. So let me go ahead. Now, if you happen to do this, which means like, let's say you just can't keep up with the machine, it's scanning so fast, just go ahead and put them back in. What I did notice is sometimes the machine will start on its own. You see how it says scanning right here? And then sometimes, if it doesn't start immediately, just click the scan button. It'll automatically kick it back in, and it'll continue until it reaches 50. You see the counter going? I'm still short. Did I get 50? I got 49. I mean, it's just my luck. All right, let me drop this in. There we go. And you see how it's kicked in automatically, the last one, okay? So now let's see what we got. We had some errors. It says we have one possible error, and I saw it when it came through. So let's go ahead and click our check mark, and there it is right there, and it's going to be card number 19. So I'm just going to count through 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And there it is. Okay, so we've got both those cards right there that we're going to pull out. All right. We're going to put these back because these are all good. So the rest of them that we have in this pack are all good. So we're going to go ahead and put that behind our divider. And now we've got these two that are left. And what's going to suck about it is these two are going to end up like in the other batch. So what I want to do is I'm going to take those cards out right now. I'm going to put the minus sign here, and I'm going to drop this back in, okay? I'm just basically swapping the cards out because I know that when I tell it I'm removing it, it's going to go ahead and say, okay, it's going to replace one for me, right? So watch. Now, I put 2 cards in there, so I'm going to tell it right now, I want it to, you see right here, finish the feeder. Okay, watch this. There we go. Now I can at least put this card back with the other ones, right? And so I'm just going to do that real quickly. It doesn't matter where I put them. I'm just going to put them in front, but they're in the same section, and we're done. So now we have no errors, and I'm going to click this, and it's going to say, are you sure your F is done? You click yes. You're done. Now you're going to go to G, okay? So we're doing, now I'm going to put in another divider. Let me get another bag of dividers. Oh, they're right here. By the way, if you need any of these things, I've got them on the site. I keep them for me, but if anybody needs some, like, and you don't have any in front of you, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to hook you up. All right, so now we're going to start our next batch. Okay, so this is going to be for G. So here we go, and we're going to tell it to scan. And we're going to say, and here goes. Now, I will tell you that I tried to put them in thinner. This way, hopefully, we don't have any double cards. And it says we have one possible error. Let's see what it is. I don't even think it was a double card. It's just we have some debris right here. I'm not sure why that's there, but I'm not going to worry about the debris. So this scan actually came out. This entire thing came out good. So I'm going to click yes. That's done. I can take all these cards now and go ahead and put them in behind the next divider. So there's that. Okay. Now, the next batch that we're doing is going to be my rookie batch, okay, which is this right here, all right? So I have them set by rookies, and then by rookie prism, and then by the different variations of the rookies, okay? So here goes. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We'll put that just like that. Okay, now we're going to finish with the also the prism. Let me back this up a little, with the prisms that were remaining. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to start, and we're in row 1, H, which is great. Is that 50? Wow, that was quick. Okay, how many errors? 3 possible errors. Let's see what those might be. Luca, no problem. DeAndre, cards cut short a little bit, and then I'm not going to worry about these again because the backs at least came through. I will reach out to Jonathan Bernier and find out what creates that issue and what I can do. But I have found that I get that problem when I have variation of sleeve sizes. So for example, I'm running BCW sleeves, which are shorter, and then I'm running the other sleeves, I don't remember the other brand. I think it's a company that makes card saver. I can't remember. But those are longer, right? So that could very well be the issue. But either case, the cards are fine as far as I'm concerned. I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to click OK, no, and yes. Those 50 now go behind the next divider. All right, and then I've got space for a few more cards in there. So I'm going to go ahead and run the next one. And this is going to be letter I. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're almost done. Okay, that's all the cards I have left, which was almost 50, I guess, right? 47. Now let's see how many errors we got. We got 4 possible errors. Let's see them. Okay, this is just a shortcut. Again, same. Again here, same. And again here, same. I'm not going to mess with them right now, so I'm going to click no and yes. And we literally just finished scanning all those cards. So let me put these back here. Okay, make sure to put them in. And then I'll know that they're to be continued, right, into the next row. And so then when I scan the next batch, I will just tell it we're in a new row, and it'll automatically start with the letter A on its own again. So here is what we have. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. Bear with me. But here's what we have. You see how we've now filled this up, and we came back to starting right here. All right. So now that that's done, let me turn this camera off. We've got 7 dogs here today, guys, so I apologize. So anyways, so now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and click the X here to close it down, and we're going to click quit, okay? And now what you're going to see is, look, we just did 198 cards, okay, right here, and we did 157 here. So you could see exactly where it is. So if we go to our files here, you will see that on box number 3, we started with C, I believe, yep, and we went D, E, F, G, H, I, so there's all of our cards, okay? Now, that's the scanning part. I'm going to stop right there, and we're going to do the next, because this took a little while, obviously, and I'm sure you could fast forward through it. That is the ideal scanning situation. I loved it. It worked out great. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come back and show you about the uploading side in the next video that I do. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions, but so far this is pretty awesome. I'm extremely excited about this. We're going to send these in for AI recognition, and then we'll see what happens next. Talk to you soon. Bye.